dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. It is 5 o'clock on this Thursday, June the 25th. I'm Will Puckett. Thank you for tuning in to Mountain News this morning. Well, yesterday was a little bit of a warm day, but for the most part, a lot of the region didn't see storms or rain really until the latter part of the day. This morning is a completely different story. Let's bring Brandon in to get us a breakdown of just what to expect on this Friday Eve. Brandon, good morning.
Good morning, Will, and Future View called it. Basically, we were talking about it yesterday. Most of the other models didn't even have rain this morning, but Future View basically had almost this exact view here that we're looking at on live Pinpoint Doppler radar. So remember yesterday morning, I said we need to keep an eye on it, and we have. Let's take a look and see what's going on. We zoom into the heaviest cluster of cells, and it's basically moving over several counties there from Leslie County all the way back into Pike County and going back toward the borders of Kentucky and Virginia and West Virginia. So some heavier pockets there this morning. Be careful. That had a pretty good downpour here at the house a few minutes ago. Visibility issues now coming with that rain, less than a mile there, actually back to 1 mile visibility at Moorhead. Literally changed on the air, 2.5 miles at Jackson, and some areas down to the south where the rain already came through, and the Lake Cumberland area seeing some issues as well this morning. Temperatures in the 60s pretty much area wide except for Danville there and Lexington, both at 59 this morning. Your out the door forecast. We'll keep those rain chances around for a little while and some clouds, but then as we get deeper into the morning, we'll see those chances go away, the clouds clear up, and the sunshine come out and be around for much of the day. Enjoy it. I have the full forecast coming up here in just a little bit. Will?
All righty, Brandon, thank you. Well, Kentucky State Police are asking for the public's help in finding a missing teenager in Harlan County. 14-year-old Shayla Zunda, who you see on your screen now, was last seen walking away from her home in the Smith community, heading towards Martins Fork Lake. Shayla has red hair that goes past her shoulders. She's 5 foot 7 inches tall and is roughly 146 pounds with hazel eyes. She was last seen wearing blue jeans, a black and white t-shirt, and black shoes. If you have any information on her whereabouts, you are asked to contact Kentucky State Police Post 10 at 606-573-3131. Well, Governor Andy Beshear says Kentucky is at a new plateau of coronavirus cases. The governor announced 229 new confirmed cases last night. That's down from Tuesday's number. Right now, Kentucky has reported 14,363 total cases. And after 11 deaths on Tuesday, the governor announced one more Kentuckian has died. At least 538 deaths are now related to COVID-19. More than 3,700 people have recovered from the virus. The governor also says they are seeing clusters of new cases in people who have recently traveled to Myrtle Beach. Well, on Monday, we learned an employee with the Eastern Kentucky Veterans Center in Hazard tested positive for COVID-19. All employees and veterans were tested on Tuesday. Officials are still waiting on most of those test results to come back and are reevaluating their COVID-19 safety policies in the meantime. We learned yesterday that a second employee has tested positive for the virus. We will hear more about the Veterans Center's reaction in our 6 o'clock hour right here on Mountain News This Morning. Well, Kentucky could play a vital role in finding a cure for COVID-19. A program at the University of Kentucky is using a plant extract grown here. It is now heading to human trials. If they are successful, it could mean that scientists have discovered a treatment for COVID-19 that can check a number of boxes. The plant in question is called Artemisia annua. A group of scientists took this extract and combined it with things like coffee, tea, and water that allowed it to interact with the virus.
Wine to see with the little dots and triangles is that you have a low number. So, for example, if you look at panel B, the artemisinin and the coffee, you can see on the far right side of that diagram that the virus is almost gone with that concentration.
The plant is a type of sweet wormwood that's been used as a natural treatment for infections for years, and it's commonly used to help prevent malaria. Well, Governor Beshear says the state has finalized a settlement that will give millions of dollars to rural Kentucky hospitals. The $383 million settlement ends a 13-year lawsuit. The state worked with Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell to get the money that will go to 54 Kentucky hospitals. The governor says the settlement saved the state more than $300 million. Well, there are still a few answers for parents on what it will look like to send your child back to school this fall. With guidelines from the state leaders yesterday talked about things we are already used to, focusing on measures like staying 6 feet apart, wearing masks, and washing hands. The administration is also allowing for unlimited NTI days. So if there is an outbreak of cases, learning can be done from home. School districts still have the freedom to design their spaces, but must follow the governor's overall requirements. You can read more about this plan on our website at WYMT.com. Now, here in Perry County, Hazard Independent Schools announced their first draft of the reopening plan for the fall for them. The plan says students will return to school 5 days a week starting on the 6th of August. Through Facebook Live, school leaders explained safety measures, including temperature checks, thoroughly sanitizing, and wearing masks. Superintendent Sandra Combs also says there will be changes to how students will eat school meals.
Upon arrival, students will pick up breakfast and report to their classroom. Lunch will also be served in the classroom, following all the social distancing guidelines.
Combs says the plan will probably change before school starts and that the Healthy at School team started drafting the plan the week after graduation. Well, this year, the 14th annual Camp Unite will be the 14th annual Camp Unite, and they are not letting the COVID-19 pandemic cancel their event. Since 2007, Operation Unite has offered a summer camp with the underlying message of drug prevention and awareness. With an important purpose and many who look forward to camp each year, officials with the program say canceling was not an option. The camp, which is usually held at the University of the Cumberlands, will now be held over Zoom and will be shorter than usual. Well, thank you for getting your day started with us right here on Mountain News this morning. Coming up, teams are preparing as Major League Baseball is ready to pull the tarp off of a lengthy delay and start its season.
And we'll continue to track some rain chances this morning, but overall, not a bad day. I'll break it down for you in about 3 minutes.